Yes, welcome back to the C Morning Show. You're still with us on C today, and we are now entering our very first talk show of the morning where we'll be talking about climate change and how it's affecting aviation. As we know, the frequency of extreme weather events, including storms, hurricanes, and heat waves, have increased due to climate change in recent years. Now, these events pose a significant threat to the reliability and safety not only of the environment but of air travel as well.
Yes, and lately there have been several cases of aircraft experiencing severe turbulence, and some believed it happened because of the quality of airplanes, while others claimed it is due to climate change. Now, for more explanations on this issue, we are now joined with the chairman of Indonesian Aviation Service User Association, or APJAPI, Alvin Lie, and also climate reality leader, Ari Wijanarko. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for coming here. Now, I want to go to Pa Alvin first. Pa Alvin, we know what causes climate change, and among them are deforestation, industrialization, waste disposal, and so on and so forth. And from the aviation side, does aviation also contribute to climate change itself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because of the gas emission from the plane, and also the vehicles in the airport itself.
Oh, okay.
And airports itself consume a lot of energy, not just the vehicles, but also the terminal buildings, air conditioning, lighting, and all the electrical equipment. They need energy, and unfortunately, up to now, most of the energy is produced by fossil fuel.
Fossil fuel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I'll shift for the moment to Pa Ari.
Sure.
As we know, airplanes produce lots of carbon emissions when they fly, and that obviously contributes to climate change. But when we see this from the other perspective and we reverse this and see how aviation is impacted by climate change instead, can you maybe elaborate on that a little, sir?
Yeah, sure. If we take a look at the data, actually the aviation industry is accountable for 2 to 3% of the greenhouse gases annually. And aside from that, we all know that if we experience a delay due to the weather reason and also all the operational challenges presented by climate change, it actually becoming one of the threats for the aviation industry. Not only it causes a lot of damages, but also at the same time, it requires people to be more aware of the issue because it will disrupt your timetable, it will disrupt your schedule, and also it will also impact many other people in this aviation industry.
Okay. Now, we want also to talk about the issue where this is very frightening for me, even though I'm a pilot's daughter, but still I'm scared of flying, and some recent events regarding several airlines that experience severe turbulence. I want to know your perspective, Pa Alvin and Pa Ari. Maybe from Pa Alvin first.
Yeah. Okay. Turbulence is unavoidable in aviation because it's part of the whole experience. Because the plane flies because it manipulates the flow of air. And turbulence is uneven flow of air. Now, there are degrees of turbulence, like from the light turbulence, moderate, heavy or severe, and extreme turbulence.
Yeah.
Now, what is happening now is that we are experiencing more of severe and extreme turbulence.
Okay.
Now, extreme turbulence normally happens in during the cruising level, 30,000 and above.
Oh, okay.
Where the jet streams are, and the speed of wind, it's in excess of 100 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Long distance flights normally make use of these jet streams to push the planes so that we reduce the time of duration of flight, reduces fuel consumption. But when there's sudden change of direction of the wind, sudden change direction could be horizontal, could be vertical, change in the density of air, and also change in the direction, and when there are a wind from different directions collide, then you experience turbulence. But again, modern planes are designed to encounter such turbulence.
Okay.
So since I think 1960s, 1970s, there is no plane crash due to turbulence.
Because of turbulence, okay.
The injuries happen because people in the plane are not wearing seat belts.
Oh, okay.
So as long as you're wearing seat belts, you are safe.
Really?
Yes.
It's called a safety belt for a reason, right?
Yeah. How about from your perspective, Pak?
But well, from my perspective, I do agree with Pak Alvin, but it's definitely disrupt our enjoyment in having a flight, right?
Yeah, well.
In traveling using the airplane. But again, because climate change is cannot be avoided, there are ways of us on how to cope with it.
Yeah.
Like
Like
the
how?
technology of the airframe can be improved. But again, it's require a lot of money.
Yeah.
Even like, for instance, in the future, if the temperature keep rising, it will require us to build a longer runway. Because the density of the air caused by climate change, it will change.
Right.
And then it will require the plane to have a further runway to be able to take
Needing
off.
more time.
I see.
So in order to do that, you have to build longer runway.
Longer runway.
Right.
And aside from that, sea level rise due to the climate change, it will definitely threaten the airports located on the shoreline.
Like
They have
in
to-
Bali, that
Yes,
was...
Yeah.
or in Jogja, for
Jogja
instance,
now,
they're very
yeah.
close to the shoreline,
Right.
and then it definitely threatened by the sea level rise.
I
Yes.
see. Okay. Okay. Maybe some tips. Take some melatonin or some sleeping pills.
Yeah,
before
so you don't have to go through the turbulence.
I'm scared.
Now, but Alvin also, Pak Ari, we can see, talking about how aviation is evolving, we can see the advancement in technology. What do you think about sustainability in the aviation sector? What I mean is now we see that, land transport, you can see a lot of EVs continuing to rise. How do you think it will look like for the aviation sector? How do we keep it sustainable that we don't, contribute that much carbon emissions in the air?
Okay. So for me, there are a lot of options. There are actually a lot of initiatives already happening. Like in aviation industry, many of the airlines also committed to having more biofuel to basically fuel the airplane. And others are building more efficient engine. And aside from that, on the infrastructure itself, you can actually implement low carbon technologies for the airports, basically. So it reduces significantly the amount of the greenhouse gases produced by the terminals, by the airport building itself. And aside from that, there have been so many airlines, companies that basically implement what we call with the carbon offsetting.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
they are buying the credit from the carbons and use it as to plant the trees, to plant mangrove, or to basically have some regeneration of the coral reef and many others. So this initiative has to be taken by all the companies, all the stakeholders involved in this aviation
Take
sector,
responsibility.
and take more responsibilities. And us as a passenger has to be always aware of our impact to the climate change, and then how we transport every day, we are commuting every day, it's actually impacting the earth. Therefore, we as a passenger, we have to also be conscious of this issue and take our own measure to implement.
Like Taylor Swift, right? She was actually in the news lately because she's traveling so much by her private jet. And private jets consume, or rather produce more carbon emissions than commercial.
Okay.
But Barry, what do you think?
Yeah, no, private jets actually is not producing more.
Okay.
But it's like you driving your car and you taking a bus. So
Right.
per capita, you are producing more carbon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And
So it's okay for us to take the bus. because I
Carpool. Plane pool.
because I don't have a private jet.
Okay, when talking about aviation, we are talking about the air side and the land side.
Yeah.
Okay, the land side, we start from the land side first. Airports are taking initiatives, like using more in energy efficient equipments.
Yeah.
And airport vehicles are shifting to electric, producing less exhaust. But that has to be compensated with a more environment-friendly production of electricity, of course. And as well as management of waste. Because waste processing is also affecting climate.
And how about the food waste when we produce when we're going through with
in flight service, food waste is minimum. Minimum food
Because
waste.
it's packed.
Yeah, it's packed, and even the packaging is now environment friendly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the air side, aircraft producers are now looking into alternative engine system.
I heard about that.
We are looking at SAF, Sustainable Aviation Fuel, but that is also a challenge because what material should we use to produce the SAF? We are also looking at hydrogen combustion system. We are looking also at electric engine system. So there's a competition, and which one will come out first, that will determine the standard for the future. So it's a lot is happening, and it's exciting to see what's going on in the aviation sector.
Yeah, and we know that air transportation is claimed to be the safest way to travel. Now, how can we ensure this? The extreme turbulences like this is actually now part of our future, part of our traveling future. Now, will this affect the safety of the passenger? Because we've seen so many fatalities. I mean, there are severe conditions.
Safety, I believe there's no question about safety because aircraft manufacturers are always improving the safety and efficiency. Safety-wise, like in the aircraft, what flies is actually the wings.
The wing.
Yeah, it's not the body of the aircraft. And the wings are, it looks small, it looks thin, but it's strong.
Powerful.
Yeah? It's the wings that flies hundreds of passengers, and the wings are flexible. See, like you look at the Boeing 777, the wing can flex like 7 meters up and it won't break. So as long as the wing does not break, you are safe flying.
Really?
Yeah.
When the wind breaks, that's when you...
Even if the engines are off, okay, you have two engines, one engine off, the plane can still fly and land safely.
Really?
Yeah. Both engines off, the plane can still glide. So there's nothing to worry about. You have to worry if the wing breaks, and there's no incident where the wing breaks because the technology.
Kind of like a bird, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Without the wings,
right.
birds can't.
Now, what affects aviation is that due to the changes in weather pattern, it makes flying less efficient. Like last week in Jakarta, we had very heavy rainfall, strong winds, and what happens? Aircraft were flying around waiting for the weather to pass before they can land. And that burns fuel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay? The most common type of aircraft used in Indonesia, Airbus 320, Boeing 737, burns about 3,000 liters per hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Whereas
A lot of fuel.
Boeing 777, that burns at least twice the amount.
Wow.
So imagine circling around how much fuel is burned. And that will add cost as well.
Right.
At the same aircraft on the ground will have to wait longer to take off because of the long queue. And again, that burns fuel.
Okay.
I think that's how it affects aviation. And you should expect there's changes of wind pattern. Like Pa Ari said, also the density of air, that's going to affect aviation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Pak Ari, Pak Alvin, as passengers, because I think we're seeing this from a passenger's lens, what do you think would be the first step that we can take to minimize, or rather contribute less to the climate crisis? Even though, I mean, flying is inevitable, we still have to. Aviation is still very important, although it's a huge contributor. But what can we do as passengers to do our part and to contribute less to the climate crisis?
Well, for me, one of the aspects first is to educate ourselves. What are the impacts or the footprint that we have caused to the climate change, to the greenhouse gases? To be aware of that every actions, every transportation method is actually having a footprint. So if you understand how much you are costing the Earth to travel from point A to point B and to reduce your carbon footprint, and also at the same time to realize that and to offset it by probably planting trees, restoring mangrove, and many others actions, it actually can compensate, quote unquote, your sin to the earth.
Redeem yourself.
Yes, but aside from that, at the same time, we have to be able to push aviation industry and to call for a more efficient energy or efficient engine that basically will reduce your carbon footprint even more. So those two steps actually can be taken by us and can be spread it to our colleagues around the world.
So it's both from the aviation sector and also the consumers as
Indeed.
passengers.
Okay. How about you, Pak Alvin?
Yeah, for the consumers, okay, the changes in the aviation sector that we are going to experience very soon is that as airlines are shifting to SAF, SAF as it is now is not efficient yet because of the low volume of production. It's going to cost more. And that is going to affect ticket price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? It's going to be more expensive. Like Singapore, they are going to enforce. It's mandatory that planes departing from Singapore from 2026, they will have at least 1% of SAF. And that's going to cost more. Now, as consumers, yes, we are going to pay more, but we have to realize that we are doing our part in improving this. As SAF becomes more efficient in production, the cost will come down.
Okay.
But
to kickstart
everything new, it's going to be more expensive. So while we have to pay more, but please understand that it's our contribution to
the earth.
To the earth. It's investing for the sustainability in the long run.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Alvin and
very
Ari,
insightful
for the explanation. Now, we don't have to worry about air travel anymore. But I'll take my melatonin. Still.
And don't forget to wear your seatbelts.
Go ahead, buy a ticket and fly.
Okay.
It is still safe, exactly. Pak Alvin, Pak Ari, thank you so much for joining us in the studio and sharing your insights. Folks, we hope you enjoyed that first talk show of the morning, and we hope you learned a bit of something there. And now we're set for a commercial break, but don't go anywhere just yet because